Hello, family on YouTube and Facebook and all the people that are interested in health and power and nature and the sun. Rah. It's a nice, long cloudless sun is out day in the UK, but that's no excuse. We all know that the sun's frequencies penetrate through cloud cover, and the medicine is available to us, right? So there's no excuse, but I'm just making the point that, my God, there's some amazing things about sun. You think you know a little bit about sun, and then something else comes along, and something else comes along, and something else comes along, and, you know, it's a lifelong study, and a beautiful study at that, because there's so much to sun that is going on that we know about, and yet there's also so much about sun that we don't know. That's crazy. You know, I wrote my second book on sunlight and sun gazing, and I'm going to be honest, my info since I wrote that book in March has just gone up exponentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a couple of years and then rewrite another book on sunlight and sun gazing, because both of them I've got so much new shit, and I'll present to you some information in a really simplistic way to you, which I just heard from a guy called Matt Maruka, who I recommend you watch and check out his videos. Very awesome guy, but I will just synthesize what he said because he explains it so well. Something about the sun that I never thought about. I mean, little things, but it just connects the dots and makes me more believe in creation too, that the sun is not an evolution thing, it's a fucking creation thing. It's designed perfectively. It's designed by perfection. And the reason why I say that is this. Okay, so we know that sunlight lowers blood pressure. They do studies all the time, and being out in sunlight, whether that being out near sunrise, being out in the middle of the day with high UVB, lots of blue light, or near sunset, whatever time the sun is out, yes, even under cloud cover, it lowers your blood pressure. And we know this because it what's the word for it? Activates nitric oxide in your skin, right? So the sun frequencies hit the skin, activate nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a signal, but also potent blood vessel dilator. What that means is it dilates the blood vessel instead of constricts in the kind of constriction that we talk about with heart attacks. Well, nitric oxide is a vasodilator, but it's way more than this. Let me go into really fucking geeked up detail on what's going on here past that. So not only is sun, when you think about it, when you think about blood vessel dilation, relaxation, same thing, right, from sun, that effectively just eliminates cardiac disease. And cardiac disease, whether that be heart attacks, heart disease, isn't that the #1 killer in the USA, #1, 2 in the UK, 2 and around the world, in the Western world? Okay, well, is that not enough? No, we got way more than that. Let's go a little deeper. Okay, so, sun. Now, this is going to get fucking geeky. Not only does we know that UVA, midday sun, activates nitric oxide. So in the midday, UVA, which is present about 10 AM and it's particularly strong at 12 when the sun peaks high to the sky to 2 PM. There's hardly any UVA at sunrise, sunset. That activates nitric oxide, which is good. But also the sunrise, sunset sun, the red light therapy, which goes deeper into the skin, the red light being high frequency, that activates nitric oxide, but by a different mechanism. That activates nitric oxide by pushing nitric oxide out of something in the mitochondria called a photoreceptor. Okay, so there's a photoreceptor in this is gonna fucking deep. There's a photoreceptor in the mitochondria that gets activated by red light, and that is cytochrome C oxidase. And that when the red light from the sunrise sunset hits that part of the skin with the cytochrome C oxidase, it pushes out nitric oxide. And therefore, that activates nitric oxide. So basically, all I'm saying is, and I'm going to go even more deep in this, all I'm saying is that every type of sun, whether that be UVA or red light therapy, activates nitric oxide. Now, why is that significant? Yes, it dilates the blood vessels. Yes, it relaxes. Yes, it slows your breath down. Slowing your breath down is the key to health. Cool. Speedy breaths equals stress, disease, all that shit, blood pressure, high blood pressure, all that shit, you know. But get this. This I found fascinating. It's simple, but I never connected the dots until Matt Maruka said it in such a simplistic way. So, okay, when the sun is highest in the sky, we've got a lot of UVA and UVB too. It depends on where you are. Winter time in the UK, we don't have any UVB anymore from October, November, December, January, February, but you've always got UVA, a very high amount. Now, the nitric oxide, it gets activated by the midday sun UVA, dilates the blood vessels. Now, when the nitric oxide is activated and dilates the blood vessels, there's blood vessels, if you understand, not just in the quite deep within the skin, but actually, you know, like a diagram, we'll show you the blue and the red. There's blood vessels everywhere, and every layer of skin has blood vessels, right? And when the midday sun, now listen, the midday sun is the hottest, right? The midday sun is the hottest. So when the midday sun activates nitric oxide, That dilates the blood vessels. The blood vessels all over your body open up, right? And that means that more blood can flow through. That's why lowers blood pressure. There's more blood flowing through the entire body network. And that includes more blood. Here's the thing. There's more blood flowing through the top surface layers of the skin. Because yes, there's blood networks deep within the layers of the body, but there's also many capillary and blood networks running through the surface layer of the skin. That's why when you take a pin and prick it, you're going to start bleeding. You only go very surface layer. Within the surface layer, there's a lot of blood. So as soon as the nitric oxide gets activated, midday sun, which is the hottest sun, it dilates the blood vessels everywhere. That means that the heat. Here's the thing: the heat of the midday sun when the sun gets hot, the protection mechanism the body's got is to pull the blood from inside the body, where there's more of it in the inside the body when you're cold, right? So the inside of the blood, it gets pushed to the surface because it wants to be released as water vapor to cool us down. So the midday sun activates more UVA activates nitric oxide. That dilates the blood vessels, and now with the nice relaxed dilated blood vessels, more blood can flow from the inner part of the body into the surface layers of the skin. So now you've got more blood flowing everywhere. More blood particularly flowing to the surface layers of the skin. Now that's significant, that not just the fact that midday sun heats us up and we want more blood flowing to the surface so we can sweat more. It goes deeper than that. You want more blood. Trying to figure out what I'm saying is, you want more blood to the surface of the skin, okay? You want more blood to the surface of the skin. It's hot because that UVA can't penetrate that deep into the skin. You guys hopefully understand that frequencies of light are different. So red light at the sunrise sunset time, which is predominant in the sun, penetrates very deep in the human body, whereas UVA, UVB, and UVA doesn't penetrate deep at all, and UVB even less. It penetrates the surface of the skin. That's significant. So UVA can't penetrate deep to the skin. The sunrise sunset can. So the way the UV, what I'm trying to say here is the way the UVA gets into your blood, and by consequence of getting your blood heals your body, is it doesn't need to do anything magic. The UVA activates the nitric oxide, which dilates the entire blood vessel network. There's loads of blood vessels on the surface of the skin, capillaries. They get dilated. Blood comes pooling to the surface to cool us down, yes, but more than that, so that the UVA that can't penetrate that deep goes and penetrates into the surface layers of the skin and into the blood. So UVA can now penetrate into the blood, of which there's copious amounts of blood all over the surface of your skin. So in effect, UVA, UVB doesn't need to penetrate that deep because it's going inside your entire blood network via nitric oxide dilation, which forces the blood vessels to relax. Then the heat of the midday sun, what a coincidence! The midday sun is the hottest. Think about what I just said there. UVA can't penetrate deep, so UVA has got a solution to get into our entire blood network. Yeah, it comes with the midday sun. You are hot. The solution, the evolution, is to cool us down. How do we cool down? The blood goes from the inner to the outer. The nitric oxide makes it easier for the blood to go from the inner to the outer surface layers. And then UVA, which can't penetrate deep, can now penetrate just that little depth. Because, by the way, there's a copious amount of blood, only 1/10 of a millimeter to the surface level of your skin. Yeah, 1/10 of a millimeter to the surface layer of your skin. There is copious amounts of, like I said, take a pin, don't go too deep, you're bleeding like hell. And that becomes even more blood when you're in the heat of a midday sun, when you bare your skin when it's nice and hot, right? You're going to... So think of that. That's not evolution to me, that's creation. Anyway, sidetrack. The UVA and UVB fucking irradiate the blood networks that are pulled, like loads of them, much more than normal when it's hot. They get pulled, they get all over. So once they get inside, the UVA irradiation effectively your blood to the surface layers. Now when you cool down and for a long time after, that blood from the capillaries is going to go back into the normal blood. Therefore your entire blood system, your entire blood network is completely irradiated with UVA and UVB. And now, I learned something else from that quiz fucking 4. I need to research it. You might find this interesting. Why is that simple? What can UVA do? We want to know, what is the point of having UVA irradiation? Sounds cool, right? UVA irradiation of blood. I'm pretty sure that UVA irradiation is the kind of thing that removes cholera and all those kind of waterborne diseases, by the way, but that's another topic. One thing I learned from him that's interesting, I'm sure it's true, I need to research more, but get this. He said that UVA, let's try and remember this. UVA induces apoptosis of cells. Apoptosis being significant because that's how we control cancer, and that's how we control diseases. When apoptosis, programmed cell death, is not controlled, then diseases proliferate. So in effect, if you UVA irradiate your blood by just midday sun to your skin, and the more the better, and the blood networks gets you irradiated, you're effectively inducing apoptosis all over the cells of the body. Because once the I don't know how it works, I need to do more research, but you know, that's what fasting does, that's what all the health protocols do, apoptosis. And when apoptosis doesn't happen, programmed death, we get cell proliferation of cancer cells and all that kind of shit. It's apoptosis which stops cancer. So in effect, what I'm saying is, midday sun, via this mechanism, and there's loads of more mechanisms why midday sun cures cancer, doesn't cause cancer. This is a good one to look at, to UVA irradiation of your blood networks. I'm not exactly sure why it's the hemoglobin and stuff, but yeah, there's far more to go. And like I said at the beginning, I'm like 1% of what this. I'm 1% of what we know as humanity. What we know about sun, but I'm going to go much deeper because it's so fucking fascinating. You know, I've seen a podcast where people are bashing sun that I look up to a little bit, like Matt Blackburn, the Divine Superconductor, and who used to do loads of midday nude sunning, and now he thinks it's bad because now he's obsessed with minerals. And he's got a great knowledge, but now I've just come back onto it. I had to think deeply about it and think, has he got a point? And I was open-minded enough to question it and to lose my confidence a little bit. Then I went back on Matt Maruka's stuff. By coincidence, Matt was like, no, the light is the important, sunlight. And you think about it with nature. We were designed to be like this. Matt Blackburn was like, no, you're not designed to be with nature. We weren't designed to be having sun 24/7. And his guest, Morley Robinson, who I also admire, says, oh yeah, you're right, you were not designed to have loads of sun. No, actually, we were designed for nudism. That's why vitamin D and it's only activated by hitting your skin. And the more skin you expose, the more vitamin D you make. That's an argument. Also, another argument that we were designed to be naked pretty much 24/7 is sunrise sun, the red light therapy. That's why we use red light machines naked. We don't put clothes on and use red light machines. The red light from red light machine, which is sunrise sunset, needs to hit naked skin. All these things make me think that actually we're designed not just a little bit of sun. I think Matt Blackburn admits you need a little bit. No. We were designed for loads of sun. Yeah, you cannot have it, but I don't think you can be completely as nature intended it, because think about it, ancient cultures have always worshipped the sun. Always. And now we've got people, biohackers, like myself, I'm a bit of a backhacker, but we've got biohackers that think they're too cool now with their red light machines. I don't need sun. What about the ancient cultures, bro? You can't beat you. The old knows better than the new. Oh, the new now thinks, oh look, I know more than the old. No. Anyway, then read the comments and bugger off. Yeah, it does. Yep, Ronald, do it. It changed your life. Just that alone is pretty amazing. Then think about number one cause of death. Heart disease, cardiovascular. Sorted. But it's not a quick fix in terms of like 2 minutes of sun, although any minutes is better than no minutes. I mean, a couple of hours a day, 2 hours a day is a very good number if you're starting out. And do what you can, because everyone's got jobs and lives and stuff. So, yeah. Oh yes, Joe, definitely hardcore. Plus, when you do the second chakra, sexual organs on the sun too, whichever sun, it activates the sexual hormones, and there's something going on down there, very very powerful with the sun. So, yeah, all right. Hope you enjoyed that geeky info on sun and UVA irradiation and apoptosis and the beautiful design of the sun to heal us. And it has perfect mechanisms to scratch the surface of it. Holy shit! There's so much more amazing things to go on with that are going to come out in the next 20, 30 years. Avant-garde people are going to find out information, science, and all that shit. So,